Hi, I'm Maggie Taylor, and I'm excited to welcome you today into the unknown, into the mystic. The mystic of a story of dazzling prophets, the mystic of a story of coming down off a mountain and encountering evil. The mystic, the mystery that is our lives. Every day we wake up and we take a step out into the world. Even the most routine days can hold surprises. Even the days that we think are going to be the easiest can hold challenges. Today, we are exploring the mystic, the challenges, the uncomfortable that is a part of all of our lives, and the ways in which Jesus walks alongside us in those moments. There's a story right before the beginning of Holy Week where Jesus takes 3 of his disciples up on a mountain, Peter, James, and John. They hike up this mountain with the intentions of praying, but when they get up there, they realize that there's something different about this experience. All at once, Jesus is transformed in this glowing, glorious light. He's shimmering, he's almost glossy, and he's joined by Moses and Elijah, and they're having a conversation. Now, what their conversation is, we don't really know, but we know it was of great importance. And it was the last mystical experience before Jesus goes into the week, which he will be tried and killed. At this moment, there are 3 of his disciples with him. And as soon as Jesus is no longer shiny and shimmery, but has yet gone through this transformational experience, they say, can we just stay? Can we stay here? Amidst this mystical moment, which we know is filled of glory and goodness. And Jesus says, no, we can't stay. We must indeed go down the mountain. And when they do, they encounter evil. A boy possessed. And as they encounter that evil, Jesus is able to heal this boy, and then they continue their walk into the unknown. Although Jesus might have known what was ahead, his disciples didn't. They were anxious to continue into the mystic. We're in the middle of a song series here at Heart of Steamboat, and today's song is Van Morrison's Into the Mystic. Van Morrison describes this song as a journey along life, one that we all take. If you listen to it, it takes a ballad about a woman or a ballad about a sailor in the sea and almost flows seamlessly with its lyrics and its melody. Van Morrison was from Belfast and knew the sounds of the ocean quite well as a child and as an adult. I would invite you to take a moment and listen to Van Morrison's Into the Mystic. When you do this, I would invite you to close your eyes and imagine sailing into the sea, into the smoke, into the mist. There's a link for the song in the comments. Van Morrison invites us for our soul and our spirit to fly into the mystic. What is the mystic, you may ask? Truly, I think it is a physical, emotional, and spiritual experience, and one that doesn't necessarily need a transfiguration Jesus to explain it. The mystic is the uncomfortable, and exploring the mystic is an act of love. It's an act of faith. It's an act of transformation. Most of us know the feeling of being comfortable. Think about when was the last time you just felt cozy, at peace, knowing that you were cared for, taken care of, or just happy. Now think about the last time that you were extremely uncomfortable. Think about the last time you stepped into a situation in which change was inevitable, but how it was going to turn out was not. That, my friends, That's the mystic. The mystic and the mysterious is a place in which God invites us into, simultaneously carrying us through. If you'll notice, Van Morrison says, we will flow into the mystic. Just as Jesus invites us down the mountain and Van Morrison invites us into the sea, we don't go alone. Whether we're stepping into maybe a new job opportunity, going off to college, maybe it's giving up a sport that we've always loved because our body can't do it anymore. Maybe it's a big move. Maybe it's having to live our lives without someone who's always been there. We have to step into the mystic. Because if the disciples hadn't left the mountain, they would never have seen a boy healed. But also they would never have seen their Lord die on a cross. But they would never have seen him resurrected either. Van Morrison has almost this light excitement for delving into what's next. And it would be nice if we all had that, right? But that's not the point. The point is that what is beyond our comfort zone is a part of our ability to transform the world and to transform ourselves. And Jesus walks with us in those moments. You might be thinking of a certain thing in your life now that you've hesitated on doing. You might be truly on that mountaintop in your life. You might truly be in that place of comfort, and you might be saying, why would I ever leave? But you leave because it's who you're called to be is more than just that mountaintop. God is able to use you at the bottom of the mountain just as he is at the top. But you have to take a step, a leap of faith, and trust that even when it's bad, God is there. Flowing into the mystic is a moment in which we are able to truly lean on faith and truly learn what is out there for ourselves. This space in which we don't know is a space in which is uncomfortable. And although God cares deeply about us and our lives, our comfort isn't always at the top of the list. Sometimes we must be made uncomfortable to show love. Sometimes we must be made uncomfortable to bring peace, and sometimes we must be made uncomfortable to find parts of ourselves that God is just waiting to show us. Every one of us has a part of our story in which we hesitate to step out into the unknown, into the mystic, into the waters, into the fields, into the city, into wherever it is. Lean into this feeling of being uncomfortable with the grace of knowing that God is with you. Do not let your heart be troubled, but know that even if we step into the mystic or we just let it overwhelm us, it's coming. So figure out how you can step into it with peace. Is it maybe talking with a friend? Is it maybe making sure that you keep a good memory of what that mountaintop experience feels like? That shining, shimmering Jesus. Whatever it is that allows you to step into the unknown, find it. Become at peace with it, and then go. Jesus is calling you into the mystic.
Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. where that foghorn blows, I will be coming home. Yeah, when the